Um, Once again, good day to everyone. Welcome back in the following week. And this week, we had quite an interesting question where somebody actually wrote in requesting about career coaching. And then the question was, are there any career coaches that can help me increase my chances of getting work outside? It's indeed an interesting question because career coaching is kind of similar to career counseling, but the coaching itself is pushed to the next level where we are probably looking at things such as interview skills, how do you prepare, how do you draft out your resume, what do you put in your resume, and going to the interview portion is talking about how do I answer certain difficult questions, right? So I suppose I think career coaching is relatively new in NIE Wellness Center. Unless I stand corrected, I think it's been here only for about 5 to 6 years. Currently, NIE Wellness Center offers career counseling support as well for our NIE students, NTU students, and for the members of public. All right, this is just information. I suppose the question is to ask is that, so Benz, what's the difference between counseling and career coaching, right? Of course, the word career itself says that the focus is going to talk a lot about the career and job opportunities and whatnot. But before we go into that, I think all of us, we need to remember that career coaching and our personality and our values and our own belief system is pretty much integral to career counseling or career coaching, because I've seen people in my journey of work where people will ask me, Benz, I actually don't like my job, but I will stay in that job because it pays my bills. And there's another group of people who say that, Benz, I'm trained in accountancy, or I'm trained in certain form of, and I've done a Master's of Science or something like that. But that's not the field that I'm going to. Where else can I go? So in these situations, that's where the counselor or who's trained in career coaching will look at certain aspects like some tools such as personality profiling, looking at personality profiling. And based on the personality profiling, it's not to cast in stone and say that, okay, this is what your personality says, so therefore this is the job that you need to go to. Rather, the career coaches / counselors in NIE Wellness Center will talk about, this is the personality profiling it says at this point of time, and where do we want to go from here? And if this is the areas of role that we want to go to, how can we prepare ourselves? So although career coaching and counseling, there is a little bit of a difference, there is some similarity because they are pretty much integral, right? So I think if anybody were to request to NIE Wellness Center to talk about, Benz, I need to look at the job opportunities, what are the employment landscapes, and how do I prepare myself? As a counselor who's also trained in career coaching, these are some of the areas that I'll start talking about. Where do you want to land? And what are the factors that contributes for you to join this particular sector? So normally I have these 4 questions that maybe for all of us to think about is, what is the motivation to join in this particular sector? Right? It could be any sector, but what is the motivation? For an example, what is the pull factor to join that particular sector? Number 2, how do we plan to get there? When I mean how do we plan to get there, do we know somebody who is in that field who could help us build that network? Number 3, what are the possible challenges that could be placed in front of us? Some barriers. The 4th question will always be, how do we plan to overcome these barriers? And for some individuals, I always have a special question, which is the 5th question, especially those who are doing a mid-career switch. I always like to ask them the 5th question of, how could you add value to this new sector that they are going to? Which also means breaking it down a little bit more, what are your transferable skills? And when we talk about transferable skills, we talk about at 2 levels. Number 1, what is the technical knowledge that we have that we could add value to this sector? Number 2, what is the soft skills that you have that we could add value to the sector as well? So in fact, if you look at our World Economy Forum, where they discussed about the future of the world and the future of how the work world will be, generally there was a lot of focus on the soft skills, such as how do we work with people? Are we comfortable in working in an environment that builds network and we have communication with people? How do we resolve conflicts? So generally these are some of the soft skills that probably the counselors will be talking about and trying to put it into your resume in order for when we are sending it out for job opportunities. So again, to dive a little deeper when it comes to career coaching / career counseling, feel free to reach out to NIE Wellness Center, and I think my team of counselors and myself will definitely see how else we can further support you in terms of to explore the opportunities out there.